Yep, you're reading that right. That says 1,633 rolls of pennies. So that's from about, well, I started recording this back in December for the dimes there, so about around that time. And yeah, 1,633 rolls. That works out to a little over 32 boxes of pennies. So I've not had much trouble getting pennies. I'll throw a picture up of, I've actually sold a bunch off, but I do have quite a few pennies sitting, just waiting to get sold to people who are looking to do crafts or whatever with them. I've gone through them all. And then I know people like to make tables or floors or whatever, so I've been selling them off for that. So yeah, I've gone through about 5 boxes just in the last month and a half or so. And I've been kind of picking away at it. It wasn't really doing a video, wasn't recording as I was going, because there's just so many things to look for, especially if there's modern Canadian pennies in there. You have to check whether they're magnetic, non-magnetic, and all sorts of mint marks and stuff. And then the US have their own varieties, and we tend to get a lot of US pennies in our rolls here as well. So anyway, it's just something I've been kind of working away at, and I didn't record anything, but I started thinking about halfway through these last 5 boxes that I should, really start setting some stuff aside. There's been some interesting things, and so I started doing that. So things like young heads, I didn't bother keeping those out. I've found lots of those and have thrown them in with the rest of my collection. But I did keep all the King George VI, so I'll go through those. I got some older wheat pennies that I hung onto as well. A couple of oddities up here. And then we started getting a few different varieties. So I'm going to go through some of the stuff that I found there. And then I found this roll, and it's interesting, and I thought it might be fun to open this one up on camera. As you can see here, that's a 1968 in pretty decent shape. The other end, you can't tell what it is. But my thought is it might be a roll of uncirculated 68s. We'll have to see. Yeah, you can see it's crimped at both ends, so it could be a bank roll. I've debated whether I wanted to open this up or not, but I'm going to open it up. I'm curious to see what's in it. I'll maybe pick away the ends there, and we'll see what's in here. Ho, 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 it's coming up on that time of year, and I am super excited to announce that myself and 7 other Canadian coin roll hunting YouTubers are participating in a Secret Santa for Christmas this year. Each of us has drawn a name at random, and will be sending that individual a surprise gift. None of us know what we're getting, or who it's from, so it should be an awesome surprise when that gift arrives. Each of us will be posting a video later in December to show what we received, and I'm looking forward to sharing that with all of you. It should be lots of fun. So here are the names of the YouTubers who are participating. New Miss Canada with Bruce, Niagara Coin Roll Hunter, Cad Roll Hunter, myself, Great White Northerner, Mario Brothers NL Coins, Leroy Dor Numismatique, Emmanuel's Workbench, and North Central Coins. I will put a link to their channels down in the description. Please take a moment to check out all of their channels and subscribe to them so that you will get notified as their videos come out. I'm looking forward to sharing what I get from my Secret Santa with all of you, and those videos will start dropping on Sunday, December 19th. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you are as excited as I am to see what each of us gets for Christmas. Take care, and happy holidays. Welcome to the channel, everybody. This is Great White Northerner. Thanks so much for coming along for the ride here. A little bit different style of coin roll hunt here, as I've really done all the work already. But we're going to take a look at what I found. So some of the King Georges, I did get a bunch of 1941s. You can see there's 4 of them there. I got 3 of the 1944s. We got 1945, a 1947, a couple 1950s, 51 and a 52. These are all the King George effigy on the obverse. And we also got some older wheat pennies as well. So I did get a 1938, I think was the oldest. I get that to focus. 1936. And we got a bunch of 1942s, a 45, and a 46. I also got this plastic penny in the middle. I don't know if you can tell, but yeah, it's plastic right in the middle of a roll. So worth absolutely nothing. And then this little oddity here with a, I guess what they call these teller stamps, a big S stamped into the penny, and doesn't make it worth anything more, but I hung on to it to show you. So, all right, and then some of the varieties that I got, I did get a doubled 5. It's very slight doubling, and now that I've got it in the flip, it doesn't show up very well on my microscope, the reflective part of this plastic. I can't see through it very well, so I won't even bother trying to show you. But I did get this 1983. It's got a die chip between the 1 and the 9, and it does show up not too badly. And oops, caught with the staple there. And there's your 1983. So you can see right between the 1 and the 9 is a bit of a die clash or cut. I'm not sure what exactly has caused that. It's harder to see with the magnification there, but yeah, you can see we're connecting the 1 and the 9. So it's quite visible with the naked eye. And then this just, it does look like it maybe could be post-mint damage, but I'm pretty sure that is that's a bit of a die clash that's in there, or a bit of buildup on the die. So yeah, so anyway, I hung on to that as a bit of an oddity. And then the other varieties that we got, actually I'm going to talk about this one. So this one just came out of a roll the other day, and the roll was full of new pence. And so they're slightly bigger, as you can see, than a regular penny, so causing me all sorts of problems. They tend to. I get new pence all the time, or new pennies, and because they're bigger, they jam up the rolls. You can't get anything out. So anyway, there was a whole bunch of them in this roll, and the very last one that fell out was this. So you're not going to see this every day, an 1890 farthing. So it's in pretty decent shape. You can see all the detail there. I'll throw it up on the microscope, and you'll be able to see detail in the Queen's hair. It's Queen Victoria, as you can see along here. And flip it over. And 1890. So yeah, 130-year-old penny, or a farthing, I guess, in the middle of a roll of Canadian pennies. So I'll take that all day long. Looked it up. It looks like it's probably somewhere in this condition, probably in the $15 to $20 range. Probably US too. It was a US website that I was looking at. So yeah, so that's pretty cool. And then we also got a couple hanging 2s, and 62 and 63. Not particularly unusual. The 63s, there's quite a few. It's very, very common to find a hanging 3, which is the die clash, the kind of L-shaped or upside down L-shaped die clash over the 3. But these are both the double versions. So I was having trouble when I was looking at it earlier to show it on here. So let's see if we can get it to show up. You can kind of see it there. So there's your double 63. The die clash comes up in here, and then there's another one that's right below it. So that is actually the neck of the Queen from the obverse of the coin. What has happened is the dies have clashed together and put this imprint of the Queen on the reverse die, and then it's shown up here. And sometimes you can see over on this side, you'll be able to see the back of the Queen's neck over here, and this is the front of the neck. So anyway, but that's a double, so it's done it twice. And there is actually a triple as well that you can find, but I found a few of the doubles, and the 62 is the same. It also has a double die clash on the 62, and you can kind of see it right there. So there's the first one and the second one right there. So that's kind of cool. Don't find those as often. The singles are a lot more common. What else did we get here? We did get a clipped coin, very, very small, just a little bit off the edge there, 1957, but it was clipped, so that was cool. I kept that. This is the doubling of the 1967 Commemorative Penny. It's pretty grungy on this side, but there is doubling on the Regina, on the obverse of the coin, and I'll show you that here, get that up on the screen, and you can see it's pretty pronounced doubling. So that's kind of cool to find. I hadn't actually found one like this. It wasn't until I was watching Roll Hunting, his channel, and didn't realize it was doubling on the obverse for this to look for on this one as well. I have been looking for the doubling on the date and find that quite often, but this one doesn't have it. It just has it on the Regina on the obverse. So those are some of the varieties that I picked up out of those 5 boxes. Nothing too exciting, but some cool stuff there. Those double die clashes are interesting, and this 1890 farthing was probably the find of the 5 boxes that I went through, so that was really cool. So then we've got this. So let's just see what we've got in here. I'm just going to push this stuff out of the way, sort it out afterwards, and I think what I will do is I'm going to try to just peel the end back, just in case this is a mint wrapped roll of the pennies. So bear with me. I'll come back in a second. I'm going to need 2 hands to do that. All right, I got it open and you can see there. So let's see if I can just slide some of these out. All right, well, let's see what we've got. Yeah, looks like it is a full roll of 68s. They are pretty toned though. I don't know if they're not uncirculated or like they look like they must be uncirculated, but they've got some pretty good toning on them. Even the ones on the inside, I kind of thought that these ones would be in better shape. Like I quite honestly have probably better looking 68s than what are in this roll. So I'll go through them, see if there's anything good. I don't think I'm going to worry about hanging on to the roll now because it's kind of messed up anyway. And yeah, it doesn't look like they're all got some staining on them in throughout the roll. So, all right, let me pull all these out and we'll take a look at them individually. Well, so that's the entire roll dumped out, and they pretty much all have some issues on them. So they're like, considering this looked like it had been crimped on both ends and come maybe directly from the mint. I'm guessing that these are mint fresh, but they don't really look like it. You know, like they've just got so much going on here. Each of them has some kind of markings and scuffings and toning on it. So I will dig through and see if there's anything that beats what I've got. But this is the one I have in my collection, just from my book here. And it's as good or nicer than any of these. So, you know, they're not particularly rare. Probably keep the one that I've got, quite honestly, in my book. And yeah, well, that was a bit of a letdown. But anyway, that's what we got. Right in the middle of one of those boxes was this whole roll of presumably mint fresh 68s. So I'll maybe pick out a couple of good ones and throw the rest back in so somebody else could enjoy them. Anyway, while I got this out, you can kind of see my collection here. So these are a typeset, basically, of Canadian pennies. You can see they're all in pretty decent shape all the way back. I just found this 1984, actually. This was in one of the most recent rolls that I opened up. And I believe it's a proof. I didn't bother to hang on to it, but you can see the finish on it versus the ones around it. So that was kind of nice to have and throw in there. And then you get back into even the 60s and 50s, and we've, you know, starting to get into some of the browner ones as we go. This one's a pretty interesting toning happening on it, 1954, and but in great shape. Not red, but pretty sharp. And then once you start getting back into the 50s and the 40s, they start getting a little more grungy and green. So hopefully I improve on those. And yeah, that's it. All right, well, that's what I had. Hope you guys enjoyed coming along and checking these out with me. Definitely got some interesting stuff. I would say for sure the coin from the hunt, or of those 5 boxes, is this 1890 farthing. How often do you find something like that in one of your Canadian penny rolls? And how do you find that? How often do you find that anywhere? Not to mention, it's just in really, really nice condition for the age of it. So that is pretty awesome. And a couple of the errors. So thanks for coming along, guys. Hope you guys enjoy this. Please remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video.
Let's just have a good time, live a good life. What you mean when you say you are new, hey? What you mean when you play like all night? Nightlife is a highlight, I'm a fly guy, this is skyline. I don't got the time for my problems, I got the time to dissolve them. Music is my oxygen, I'm breathing, no stopping. Human but my oxygen, the music when it's dropping. Some about these vibes provided in these lines. I am trying to design the rhyme, checking my mind. Music be described, I got ahead of my time. Deep be prescribed, cause I feed it full of lines. Money ain't nothing, you turn it into something. I'm standing for the money, make you look real funny. Put my own name in discussion, I'm a hustler. Work real hard to show you that I'm coming, yeah.